We had a comment. We had 2 different troll comments.
What?
Yeah, for sure. So one at the end was, the first one was just like, stop breaking the law. So whatever.
Whatever. Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. The second one though is this a joke? So I always like to just click on to see who it is.
Yeah.
And it's Mogul Mac, who it says he's a therapist, realtor, Black dude. So then I'm kind of like, well, talk to me about, I guess it sends my antenna.
Because he saw all white folks on the screen.
That's my first thought.
I thought maybe maybe they didn't understand what we were doing. We didn't clarify that not until the end though.
Yeah.
That we had to change it because the guest we had on the had the deaf in the family, so we had to change it last minute. I don't know. I would just ignore those. Just ignore if they say stuff like that.
Yeah. And I did, but I thought it was worth just addressing in this space with us. Like,
right.
I already anticipated that.
Okay.
I did. I mean, because when you talk about justice reform issues and we've got 3 white faces on the screen, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I also made the plug for, listen, I need a diverse team.
Yes. Yes. You're not like,
I don't like that mentality about that. It's like white people can't have that sense
that concern or compassion.
Like,
or
I can say that there's definitely a problem. Like,
yeah.
I understand that Black people are literally.
Oh, y'all, this is great. This is great behind the scenes conversation. We should be recording this. We should be recording it.
I already am. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, good.
Okay. Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead, Melissa.
No, I see what you're saying, Bobby. However, I think one of the biggest tenets of the conversation right now is that privilege is not identified like it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. And so for that reason, I actually kind of agree. Like, I guess what I'm saying is I think that our job as white people right now is to go to the absolute furthest length that we can go to understand what we do not understand. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, I understand. I can't feel the pain of African Americans that live in this country.
Right.
I understand. I can't feel what they're going through. I don't have to worry about police officers, approaching me for no reason. If I look suspicious to them, they're not going to approach me because of that stuff. I know why. It's the color of my skin.
So you can understand then why this guy is like,
yeah.
Hey, he shows up and he's like, why are there 3 white people talking about?
We don't know for certain though. We don't know, just to clarify, we don't know for certain if that's what he
what he was thinking.
We're not really, we're not sure if that's what he was thinking.
Right.
And I did ask
him. We could ask him, could you clarify your comment?
That's what I said.
It could have just been a troll. Simple as that. Yeah. People do that all, it's the internet. But, But either way, I get that we have to acknowledge, as a white person, we can't feel the pain of what, other races go through, but we can understand it and help try to fix it.
Right.
I'm an advocate for Black Lives Matter. I mean, I went to a Black Lives Matter protest in my town. I mean,
yeah, I
was, there was a couple of bad people there who were trying to, ruin it for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And I hated them for that. Some guy kind of came up to my parents while I was walking down the street and was saying all this stupid stuff. This was a George Floyd one, and was acting all ignorant about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then some car drove by screaming "All Lives Matter," and I just I shake my head. I'm just this is ridiculous. So,
right.
Yeah, Christine been trying to get a comment in here.
Christine,
sorry. With this team, you're gonna have to become a little bit more aggressive, okay?
I
always just I'll just wait till everyone's done and then
you gotta break in here.
I usually can't shut up about this topic, so just
about
any of the stuff.
Well, just 2 points. I was gonna say that Melissa, I think you do a great job at responding to them, right? Because they're responding out of anger, and so it's can you tell me more about that? And I think. If someone's already in this anger place and then it's no, I'm not going to explain myself, but I think that's the best possible thing we can do.
Yeah.
And then also, for me, joining this team, I mean, I was very aware that I was white and I want to contribute. I want to do something, and that's what I kind of mentioned earlier. It's I think this is one of the best things I can do as a white person is really learn the other side. And then I think, as I mentioned before, like take it back to my community and like, okay, this is what I know now, you know, and this is what's actually going on, you know.
Right.
At the same time, I can see the issue of not, you know, the misrepresentation of other colors of skin, as you know, it's like the chronic issue that we have in general, which is like what part of the movement is about anyways.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
I wonder if like presenting, you know, as we keep going forward, you know, if there's a way for us to keep saying we are like learners in residence, you know, we are not here to be the presenters. Like we are not here because we have anything that we know but rather we have come to sit at the feet of Elaine and the speakers and the guests and our audience so that we can learn and grow. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we can do that. That's why I mentioned the piece around the interns are not only learning while they're learning while leading.
Yes.
Yeah, I've always mentioned that, like the younger, and you especially talked about the youth as well. I always say that the young people are in control. We need to take control of our society. You know, we have a lot of old people. I mentioned this before on our next gen stuff, but you know, we have a lot of old people who still run things around here.
Yeah.
And their old ideologies that just don't work anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I like to point this out, but we still do have a lot of people alive who grew up in a time where it was okay to be racist. And some of them I feel like haven't changed their mindset about that. I feel like they only did that because they were forced to. Because
a lot of those
if they weren't doing it, then they would be shunned. They would be shamed. Some people like try to out them out to help lose their job, like, you know, like KKK members or whatever, Proud Boys, all those groups. A lot of people try to out them so that they ruin their livelihood. I mean,
right. A lot of those individuals back in the 60s who were taunting, for example, that visual about Ruby Bridges, who integrated the school in Arkansas, I believe it was. And she had federal guards pick her up from home to escort her to the first day of school. And all of the white folks in that area would not send their kids to school.
Yeah, there's that one.
And those parents were in their mid-20s, maybe. Those are the same parents today that's 75 and 80 years old.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Do you remember
they still living.
They're still alive.
They're right, alive and kicking. And the kids, possibly, if they've been indoctrinated, the kids are the ones that we're fighting against now.
Yes.
Okay.
What was the one about, like, there was the group of kids. There was a group of kids, and I can't for the life of me remember what this group was. It was like 9 students who integrated into a school.
Little Rock 9.
Little Rock 9. So funny enough, there was a Comedy Central show called Drunk History, and it was basically B tier like celebrities to get drunk and talk about history. It's kind of funny, but it's informative too while trying to be funny at times.
And what's the name of the show?
It's called Drunk History. They just stopped recently.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't. They did the Little Rock, and what kind of annoyed me at the end was that this lady who was telling the story talked about those Little Rock 9 who went on Oprah's show, and she brought in the kids that bullied them. And she was making this joke. It's like, oh, well, because they do this live action where they lip sync what she's saying. So she's like, oh, we're sorry we were racist. We were just doing it because, you know, our parents were like that, or this was normal at the time. But, you know, it's different now. We're cool. But I'm like, yeah, there's people who really think that, who only are saying that because it's not normal anymore to be racist. And I just don't like that mentality. I think they still haven't learned to not be racist. And unfortunately, still many of those people are still alive. That's why I want the young people to take over so that we can get a different mindset so that racism won't go away officially all the way. Obviously, it's just not possible.
Right.
But we can really hammer it down to where it's just very, very, very uncommon for it to happen. That's what the future I want to see look like.
Right. So listen. This benefits everybody. I'm not going to turn people away because they may be white or Asian. My goal is to be able to allow people who want to express themselves on this show in a way that says, I want to contribute, I want to give back, I want to learn, because that's how you train. That's personal transformation.
Yeah, that's right. I agree.
Much of what will bring a change to this world is personal transformation from a higher level. And so that's what this is about. It's about internship, supporting the show, helping to build the show, but greater than that is change.
Yeah.
It's change.
Yeah.
And then of course folks, talking it up, sharing, that kind of thing, and we just keep it going. I don't know of any other show per se, digitized show, what have you, that is structured or shaped or formatted in this way.
And I love that.
And that's clearly God directed. Okay. I didn't see this at the beginning. Honestly, I did not see this. I was on a whole nother wavelength with the way this would roll out. And once
what was that? Like, what was the difference?
Well, let me tell you.
Yeah.
I was thinking that I needed to secure all these major federal grants and get major corporate sponsorship and try to do it all the traditional way. I needed to be in a elaborate studio and get the GMs buy-in and let me tell you something. That's not how it played out. Not one. Let me tell you something. What I set aside each month to keep this going is nothing. Monetarily, it's nothing.
Yeah.
While I'm sitting up here spending time up all night writing grants, trying to get somebody to fund the program.
Right.
While I spent and wasted all that time and energy doing that and running around the different studios, let me tell you something. There were folks in Atlanta that wanted the show. They loved my pitch deck, the concept, everything, right? But they wanted me to do the footwork and securing corporate sponsorship. No. Look where we are. Once I got still, got quiet, trusted what was placed down inside of me, I moved on that. Let me wrap that comment up with this visual. In 2003, I was speaking at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference annual convention in Florida, the one where I told you I met Khalil. I was to give a workshop on national capacity building to try to help the SCLC chapters and affiliate really get a handle on capacity building and resource development, right? I'm in the hotel, walked into the room that was designated for the workshop. Every piece of equipment in there was broken. Back in the day, we were still using, what do you call those where it had the lamp on top and you laid your overlays onto this
the overhead projector?
Yes. Right. So the hotels were still using overhead projectors and the stuff mounted in the ceiling, the big screen. This was 2003, which really wasn't that long ago, right?
Not that long ago, yeah.
So my mentor, who is now deceased, Reverend E. Randall T. Osborne, he was my boss and mentor at the time, but I had left SCLC at that time and had gone on to DC. I had come back at their request to do a workshop. So I'm in the room and I was about to panic and freak out. He had come in the room especially to hear me speak because he knew I was on program, and he was sitting in the chair and he saw me just fiddling around and I'm like, this isn't working. This doesn't work. I've got all this material. And he looked at me and he said, Elaine, you don't need all of that. All that you need is already down on the inside of you. Once he said that to me, I calmed down because I had to then believe that for myself. All of the extra stuff that you think you need, all the fluff, all the circle, all that it's here. So I say that to kind of give some context to the initial efforts, okay?
Yeah.
To where we are now.
Yeah.
And that's it. I trusted, walked on water, believing I could walk on that water, and kept it moving. Okay? All right. So that's my close. This is our behind the scenes recap with the team discussing our earlier episode today. And I trust we were able to give you a little bit more insight, and I've shared a little bit more about myself personally, which I don't normally do, but it's all about encouragement, empowerment, and really leaving you with a sense of hope that, listen, we're going to get this work done. We're going to get it done, right? Thank you for joining us. Take care.